When I say the phrase 1% man, most men instantly think about money, luxury cars, expensive suits, a villa with an ocean view. But let me break your illusion right at the start. None of that automatically makes you intimidating to women. None of that alone makes you the kind of man that sexy, beautiful, high value women stop and stare at. The true 1% man is not simply rich, he is rare. Rare in his thinking, rare in his energy, rare in his discipline, and rare in his confidence. And that rarity is exactly what makes him intimidating. Because when you are rare, you cannot be replaced. When you are rare, people fear losing you. And when you are rare, women who are used to every man drooling at their beauty suddenly freeze because they can't figure you out. That is the psychology of intimidation. It's not about aggression, it's about being unshakable. Now, let's talk about what women are truly intimidated by. You see, pretty girls, sexy girls, the kind of women who have men falling at their feet daily. These women are not impressed by compliments. They are not impressed by money thrown at them without class. They are not impressed by needy energy. They are impressed by control, control of self, control of emotions, control of desire. When a man has the ability to look at beauty, acknowledge it, but not chase it, he automatically becomes powerful because he breaks the pattern. Every other man is predictable. He sees a beautiful woman, he reacts like a dog after meat. But a 1% man, he doesn't move, he doesn't beg, he doesn't chase. He lets her wonder, why is he different? Why is he not worshiping me like the others? And that question burns in her mind, creating attraction without you lifting a finger. But let me tell you this, it's not a trick. You can't fake being 1%. If you try to play games while being insecure inside, she will see through it. Because women are biologically wired to detect weakness. The real intimidation comes from alignment. When your words, your body language, your energy, your lifestyle all scream the same message. I don't need you. I choose you if you qualify, but I don't need you. That is what makes you untouchable. That is what makes you stand apart. And here is the brutal truth. Most men are slaves, slaves to lust, slaves to validation, slaves to comfort. A 1% man is free. He has conquered himself. He doesn't scroll aimlessly through social media worshiping women he will never meet. He doesn't beg for attention in DMs. He doesn't waste his nights on addictions. He invests his time in building himself, his body, his mind, his skills, his purpose. And let me tell you something very important. Purpose is the sexiest thing a man can wear. You want women to be intimidated by you? Walk into a room with the aura of a man who knows exactly where he is going in life. That aura is magnetic because purpose is power, and power is irresistible. Think about it. Sexy girls are used to attention. They are used to free dinners, expensive handbags, fake promises, desperate men. That's normal to them. What's not normal? A man who doesn't flinch when she ignores him. A man who doesn't worship her body because he already has self-control. A man who knows his worth so deeply that even her beauty cannot shake his throne. That is intimidating because she realizes, I cannot play my usual games with him. He is too grounded. He is too focused. He is too high value to care. And when she realizes that, something switches. Her beauty loses its power and your energy takes the lead. Now let's go deeper into the psychology of being that 1% man. The first thing you must understand is that intimidation is not about fear, it's about presence. Your presence must be heavy. When you walk into a room without saying a word, people must feel your energy. That energy doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from self-mastery. When you wake up early, when you train your body, when you discipline your mind, when you protect your energy, your aura becomes unshakable. That aura speaks before you do, and women feel it instantly. They may not even know why they feel nervous around you, but they feel it. Because a man with presence is rare, and rarity is intimidating. Secondly, you must understand the difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence is silent, arrogance is loud. The 1% man doesn't need to prove himself. He doesn't need to brag. He doesn't need to show off. His life speaks for itself. His eyes speak for themselves. His actions speak for themselves. And this silence is deadly because silence forces women to lean in, to ask questions, to chase your attention. And when the roles reverse, when she is chasing you instead of you chasing her, that's when you know you've become the man she cannot figure out. But let's not sugarcoat this. Being a 1% man is not easy. It demands sacrifice. It demands that you say no to short-term pleasure. It demands that you build habits most men are too weak to build. It demands that you face loneliness because the journey to greatness is lonely. It demands that you walk away from toxic women, no matter how beautiful they are, because you value peace over drama. And that right there is one of the ultimate traits of the 1% man. He is willing to walk away. He is willing to lose her to protect his standards. And nothing intimidates a sexy girl more than a man who can walk away, because she is used to men who crawl back. When you walk away with dignity, you leave her in shock, and that shock turns into respect. Now, let's address one of the greatest myths men believe, that being intimidating means being aggressive, cold, or rude. No, that's weakness disguised as strength. Real intimidation comes from calmness. Imagine this. Two men are in a conflict. One is shouting, swearing, losing control. The other is calm, composed, even smiling. Who is more powerful? The calm one. Because calmness under pressure is the highest form of strength. Women see that. They test you. They push your buttons. They want to see if you will break. And when you don't break, when you remain calm, grounded, logical, that's when they realize they are dealing with a man on another level. That's when they know this is not a man I can manipulate. That is intimidating. And yes, money matters, status matters, success matters, but they are not the foundation. They are the fruits of discipline. A man who chases money without character becomes a clown. A man who builds character and discipline first, money, status, respect, women, they all follow naturally. So if you want to be the 1% man, stop chasing outcomes and start becoming the foundation. Build the habits, build the discipline, build the mindset. Everything else will come. Let me give you an image to lock in your mind. Picture a lion in the jungle. He doesn't need to roar to prove he's the king. His silence, his presence, his dominance is felt. Other animals respect him without him saying a word. That is the energy of the 1% man. He doesn't need to prove. He doesn't need to chase. He doesn't need to bow. He simply is. And women, no matter how sexy, no matter how confident, no matter how spoiled by attention, they feel that. And it intimidates them because deep down, every woman knows she cannot control a true lion. She can only respect him. So if you want to become that man, understand this. It's not about tricks. It's not about lines. It's not about manipulation. It's about self-mastery. Master your body, master your mind, master your emotions, master your time. That's how you rise above the 99%. That's how you become rare. And that's how you walk into a room and even the most beautiful women, the ones used to having every man at their feet, suddenly don't know how to handle you. They find you intimidating, not because of what you say, but because of who you are. Because once you start to embody this energy, something strange begins to happen. You notice how the dynamics flip. The same some women who used to ignore your existence, who once scrolled past you, who once thought you were invisible, suddenly start noticing every little move you make. They start watching you in silence. They start getting nervous when they talk to you. And here's the truth. They are not intimidated because you hurt them or because you're mean to them. They are intimidated because they cannot control you. That is the secret most men don't understand. Women are used to controlling men with beauty, attention, and validation. But when none of that works on you, they start to realize, I have no power here. And that realization hits harder than anything else. You see, intimidation doesn't mean women will dislike you. It means they will respect you, sometimes even more than they want to. And that respect is the foundation of attraction. Without respect, attraction dies. A sexy girl might flirt with you, she might enjoy your attention, but she will never truly desire you if she doesn't respect you. Respect is earned only when you show her that your standards are higher than her beauty. That is the difference between a boy and a man. Boys see beauty and melt. Men see beauty and measure it against character. And when she realizes you are the man who can see through her looks into her soul, she knows you are different. Think about the men who fall into the trap. They buy her attention with money. They give her free validation every day. They beg for her time. But deep down, she doesn't value them. She uses them. She laughs at them. But the man who looks her in the eyes and says, "Your beauty is not enough for me," that man stays in her mind forever. Because he is the one who challenged her. He is the one who didn't surrender. He is the one who forced her to level up. That is what makes him unforgettable. And let me warn you, the journey to becoming that man is not glamorous. You will be misunderstood. You will be criticized. You will be lonely at times. But every great man in history was lonely before he was admired. Every lion hunts alone before the pack respects him. And if you can endure that, if you can stand tall through the fire, you will emerge as a man women can't forget, men can't compete with, and society cannot ignore. Because at the end of the day, being a 1% man is not about women. It's not even about intimidation. It's about becoming the highest version of yourself. The intimidation, the respect, the admiration, they are side effects. The true prize is your own transformation. The fact that you wake up every day knowing you are unstoppable. The fact that when you look in the mirror, you see a man you admire. And that right there is the real definition of success. ChatGPT said, and when you begin to carry yourself this way, notice how the world reacts differently. Even men around you will shift. They won't joke with you the same way. They'll measure their words because your energy commands seriousness. People instinctively respect discipline, even if they can't articulate why. They can feel that you are not wasting your time, that you are not desperate for approval, that you live by your own rules. That's intimidating not only to women, but to society itself, because society wants you distracted, weak, and controllable. A man who is focused, detached from validation, and committed to his own mission is dangerous. Dangerous to systems, dangerous to weak men, and dangerously attractive to women who crave masculine leadership. Sexy women especially can feel this difference instantly. They live in a world where men bend over backwards for them, where their beauty opens doors, where they can manipulate emotions like second nature. But when they meet a man who doesn't give in, who doesn't collapse under their charm, they get unsettled. At first, they may act cold, they may test harder, they may even mock you, but underneath, they are drawn to you because you have something they can't buy with beauty, control. You are not obsessed with them, and that absence of obsession is more magnetic than any cheesy pickup line. But here's the paradox. Being intimidating doesn't mean being unavailable. It means being selective. A 1% man is approachable but not easy, kind but not soft, generous but not gullible. Women respect that balance because it shows maturity. Immature men are either pushovers or arrogant jerks. A real man stands right in the center, calm, confident, in control. And that's what leaves women wondering, how do I get this man's attention? What do I need to do to be chosen by him? Imagine the reversal, that the woman who is used to being chased now has to chase. That's the power of being intimidating. And this is where most men fail. They think chasing is the only way to prove interest. But the reality is, the less you chase, the more space you create for her to invest. When she invests, she values you. When you overinvest, she devalues you. It's basic psychology. And the 1% man understands this deeply. He doesn't fall into the trap of giving too much too soon. He makes her earn his attention, just like he makes the world earn his respect. Because nothing in his life is free. Everything is built through discipline, and he expects the same from others. And so the truth is this: being a 1% man isn't about money, status, or chasing women. It's about becoming untouchable through self-mastery. The reason sexy girls find you intimidating is not because you're cruel, not because you're arrogant, but because you stand for something bigger than their beauty. You stand for discipline, for standards, for purpose. And when a man has purpose, when he has control over his emotions, when he can walk away without hesitation, he becomes rare. Rarity is power, and power is magnetic. So if you want to know how to be that man, stop asking how to attract women and start asking how to conquer yourself. Build the body they can't ignore, sharpen the mind they can't outsmart, master the calm they can't disturb. Become the man who doesn't chase, but chooses, the man who doesn't beg, but commands respect, the man who doesn't break, but sets the standard. Because when you rise above the 99%, when you enter the realm of the rare, you don't just get attention, you create legacy. And that is the kind of man the world never forgets.